Hello everyone, welcome to today's reading. This reading is a no contact reading, so we are asking will they contact me? Why are they not contacting me? When will they contact me? And so on. So we have 4 piles here to choose from left to right. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. I've put GIFs up on the screen that correspond to each pile. If you're choosing based on the GIFs, may I suggest that you kind of just let your eyes lose focus and let them drift to the pile that is calling out to you, to the GIF that is calling out to you. Or if you're not choosing visually, I think a good way would be to close your eyes, clear your head for a moment, and whichever pile you look at, whichever pile your eyes go towards, when you open your eyes would be the pile that is resonating with you. Or you could choose it however you like. You could choose it based on whichever GIF you fancy, whichever number that is calling out to you, and so on. So I'll keep the GIFs looping on screen for a while. Take your time to choose. If you need, please pause the video, and I'll keep the timestamps in the description box below. So see you in about 60 seconds or so. Hi pile number 1. So if you chose pile number 1, here are your cards. We have the Page of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Three of Swords, the Ace of Swords, Vision. We have the Knife card. We have here the Queen of the Moon, Sovereignty. We have the Exorcist card. Let's look at the attributes. We have freeing yourself and others of destructive impulses and the fear of facing your own demons. And finally, we have here the Hero or the Heroine card. Passion for a journey of personal empowerment or escapism and a false sense of heroism. Okay, so looking at pile 1, I kind of sense that, in short, yes, you will hear from this person soon. However, I think that by the time you hear from this person, you would have changed your mind about this person, or you would have realized that this person isn't for you. They're kind of toxic, and you would want to cut this person off. This isn't someone you want to be hearing from again. So I don't curate the cards for my readings. I kind of just shuffle them and let them fall out. I do look at them beforehand though, before I record this video, to kind of get a sense of what I would say, or for oracle cards, I would look into the guidebook to see if there's anything I could take from. And for this pile, when the cards fell out, I was like super amazed because it just makes so much sense. The cards fit so well together. So let's start with the Page of Wands over here. So the Page of Wands, the pages in tarot are messengers. Essentially, they usually there's someone who bring a certain message to you. There's someone who bring about some news to you. So this person with the pages, I sense that they would be reaching out to you soon. And especially since with the Page of Wands, the wands are one of the swiftest suits in tarot. I can't remember if they are the fastest. So you have, the wands and swords are very quick energies, whereas water and pentacles are slower energies. So wands are very quick. They are like a burst of energy. So with the page of wands, I do sense that you would be hearing from this person very soon. And they would bring about, and when they reach out to you, they would bring about a fiery passion, a very exciting energy. With the page of wands coupled with the knight of wands, I do sense that there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of romance, there's a lot of overwhelming energy that's involved here. So this person would likely have a larger than life personality, or if they don't, they kind of just make you feel like you're being consumed by them, consumed by the heat of your relationship. So this could feel good to you, or this could feel irresistible to you in the throes of passion, in the heat of passion. However, I do think that you would be coming into a more state of mind with more clarity to resist this person, to push this person away. So with the Knight of Wands, again, the Knight of Wands in its negative form, in its negative interpretation, it's someone who's very flighty, irresponsible. Essentially, they are a player. They are not here for the long haul. So if that is something that you're looking for, if devotion is something that you're looking for, then this person is not for you. Again, with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands, I kind of sense that this person, when they reach out to you, they'll be very flirty, they will try to sweet talk you, they'll be very charming. However, I think that they might not necessarily be sincere. So let's look at the hero-heroine card. So with this card and the Knight of Wands, I think that this person sees you as a conquest. They have this sense of inflated ego, and for them, you are this quest that they want to overcome, this task, this exciting new prospect that they want to attain. And I feel like when this person has your devotion, has your attention, they would start to lose their interest in you. This is why we have the Three of Swords. There's a Three of Swords as well. It's about heartache. It's about your heart breaking. And in this particular interpretation, it's also about treachery. It's also about lies, about deception, and that leading to heartbreak. So in this particular interpretation, I'm using the Tarot of the Divine by Yoshitani. So in this particular interpretation, it's about the crane wife in Japanese fairy tale. So the crane wife asks her husband for privacy, but he spies on her only to discover she was hurting herself to help him. His spying was treacherous, but so was her inability to trust him with her secret. So besides betrayal, besides heartbreak, besides grief, this card is also about a lack of trust between you and this other person. So I do think that you kind of sense that this person isn't sincere, isn't right for you. They may not be as they seem. They might sweet talk you. They might tell you sweet nothings, but they don't. You sense that they don't necessarily mean what they say. Or perhaps for some of you, is that this person may appear so flighty and flirty, and to be such a player that you can't bring yourself to trust this person, whether or not they are actually being trustworthy, being sincere to you. And I do feel like in the long run, even if they do mean what they say, this is not a very healthy relationship, because you cannot bring yourself to trust each other. And you might not be very compatible. Of course, with time you might be able to work out your issues, but I do, with the Knight of Wands and the Page of Wands, I do sense that this person might not be here for the long haul. And with the Ace of Swords and the Knife card, this is very, and the Exorcist card as well. Yes, the Exorcist card. I see that when this person reaches out to you, you would find yourself cutting them off. You would come into your being, come into your sovereignty. You would know that this person isn't right for you. The Ace of Swords especially is about clarity, mental clarity. It's about it's also about action. So the image of the hand holding the sword upright is very telling. It's a symbol of action. It's a symbol of coming into your own being, coming into being the hero of or heroine of your own story, and pursuing your own fate, writing your own fate essentially. And I do see that you would do that. You would come into your own being and be your own sovereign being by cutting this person off, by exercising this person. And oh right, the vision card as well. Yes, the Virginia Woolf vision card. This is why I was saying that when the cards in this pile fell, I was so amazed because everything fits so well together. So vision, Ace of Swords, sovereignty, they're all about having mental clarity, having a vision of yourself, being clear about who you want to be and who you want to associate with. So with the Ace of Swords and the Vision card, I see that you would be very clear about who this person is and very clear about what your needs are, who you want, what kind of person you want to be with, and being very clear about your own self-worth. That's with the Sovereignty card, being very clear about your own self-worth, becoming unleashing your inner queen. Now this doesn't necessarily mean you identify as female. It just means that you know you're coming into your own power, you are ascending to your throne, you are feeling like royalty essentially. So I think that when you cut this person off, you would feel very good about yourself. You would feel very powerful, coming into your own power. Not powerful in that you would have control over other people, but powerful in that you are very sure of yourself, you're very confident. So Virginia Woolf is also a pioneer of her time, right? Like she's a very famous feminist literary writer. Again, this doesn't necessarily mean that you are female, but with Virginia Woolf, I see that you are going against your current and doing what feels like to you, not being pressured by this person into a relationship that does not serve you. And it's also about being sexually liberated, being confident to explore yourself sexually, to explore your sexuality without feeling like you have to cater to a particular person or to lose sight of yourself, to be consumed by the other person in a relationship. So this thing with the Suit of Wands in tarot, Suit of Wands is the element of fire, right? So with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Wands, these are court cards. These are very prominent cards, very strong fiery energy. And with these two cards side by side together in this reading, I think that the person that you are thinking about, the person who would reach out to you, is someone who is very when you're in a relationship with them, it feels like they are consuming you. Not literally, of course, but like consuming the relationship with them would be all consuming. It's all about them. You're following their pace. Whereas with Virginia Woolf, it's about with the Virginia Woolf vision card, it's about coming into your own being. The Sovereignty card as well is about holding your own fate and preserving yourself in a relationship and being confident of your sexuality, being confident of yourself in a relationship, holding your ground in a relationship. That and the hero heroine card as well. It's about being sure of what you want and attaining your goals, I'm not saying that you should treat other people like sexual conquests, but it's about choosing people who serve your highest need, who serve your soul, who are good for you, and having that choice as well. So with hero and heroine, it's also about making choices, making the right choices, being creative with your choice making, decision making when facing a set of unfavorable circumstances, so that you overcome the trials presented to you and ascend to a higher state of self. So I think for some of you, you might feel like you don't have any other choice but this person. You can't be with anyone but this person. But know that you would have choices in the future, and it's more important for you to come into your own being, to learn more about yourself, to be more confident than to be with this person. So with the Exorcist card beside, exercising this person, besides cutting this person off, it's also about facing your own demons. So I think that you might be somewhat emotionally reliant on this person. So you might feel like your happiness is reliant on whether this person makes you happy or not. But you have to face your own demon. You have to face and conquer that sort of thinking. You have to cut that sort of thinking off and be more confident of yourself, so that something better would come along in the future. So that's all I have for group 1. I hope this resonated with you, and I hope to see you again. And if you liked this reading, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. Hi group 2, so if you chose group 2, here are your cards. Let's look at the tarot cards first. We have here the High Priestess, the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Coins, the 6 of Wands, the Future, Doll, Vampire. Now let's read the attributes. For the light attribute, it says, makes you aware that someone or something is draining your life force. And with the shadow attributes, it says, depleting others for your psychic survival, chronic complaining and codependency. And here we have the Virgin card, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, followed by a fear of intimate union. And finally, the attraction card, Super Moon Attraction. Okay, so for pile 2, for group number 2, I kind of see 2 possibilities with whether this person would contact you again. Let's start by looking at the Super Moon Attraction card. So this card here is it's referring to the law of attraction, being in line with your higher self, being in line with your higher consciousness in order to attract what you want into your life. However, this card isn't just about blindly attracting everything into your life. Okay, let me show you the guide that came with this card. So attraction isn't just about what we accept, but also how we discern. Blindly attracting everything we think of into our lives rarely makes us happy, but being focused about it does. This card also suggests that we think globally and for the whole. If you are making intentions on the supermoon, include one for the planet. Okay, so I don't think the last part about the planet really resonates with this reading. However, the part about thinking about the whole, I think that you should think about whether this person you are trying to attract into your life, this person whom you are trying to come into contact with, you should think about whether this person is good for you in the long run, whether this person serves your need in the long run. You should think about the big picture, plan ahead, instead of just wanting to hear from this person in the near future, in the short term. So, and to read this card on a more literal level, I do see that there is attraction between you and this other person. It's not just one-sided. I do see that there is attraction on both sides. Like you, with the number on this card 44, it's a mirror, right? It's a duality. So there is attraction between you and this other person. However, with the Five of Wands, I see that if you do attract this person into your life, in the short term, like there might be a lot of conflicts, there might be a lot of aggression between you and this other person. The thing about Five of Wands is that the conflict portrayed in the Five of Wands has a playful dimension to it. It's the sort of conflict that you thrive on. So you for example, the two of you might have a playful bickering dynamic. However, this might not be sustainable in the long run because what starts off as playful bickering can become resentment in the long run. You might start to feel truly resentful of this person, truly frustrated with this person. So if you do so, I think that whether this person contacts you or not is up to you. Like you could attract this person to contact you in the near future. However, do note that there might be an element of conflict in your interactions with this person. And if you don't, with the High Priestess card, I do see that you would be connected with your intuition, connected with your higher self, connected with who you want to be and who you are. And you would be able to attract the interactions, the connections with other people that serve your need. However, do note that the high priestess is a rather solitary presence. So I think that if you are trying to attract a meaningful connection, meaningful relationship, be it with this person that you're thinking about or with someone else, I think that it would take time. I do also think that that's what the future card is telling us as well. That something meaningful would arise in the future, like you would have the sort of connection you want with be it this person that you're thinking about or with someone else in the future. However, if you do choose to try to attract this person into your life in the near future, in the short run, then I do think that you would not find the quality of connection that you are looking for. I say that also because of the three cards at the bottom, the Virgin card, the Vampire card, and the Doll card. So I think that with these three cards, the two of you, the person you're thinking about and you are not at a place in your lives where you could communicate with each other with maturity. So with the Virgin card, the shadow attributes, it says the fear of intimate union. So it might be you or it might be this other person, but there's this fear of connection. Perhaps it's like you fear that if you open up to this person, they might hurt you, or they might, if they leave you, you would be heartbroken. So I think that you or your person don't feel comfortable. You don't feel comfortable with each other. It's not just you, but I think that it shows what the other person is feeling as well. Now, this does not necessarily mean that one of you are in the wrong. It just means that perhaps you are not at a state of consciousness where you could communicate with each other in a way that the other person expects, in a way that feels secure and trustworthy to that other person. With the Vampire card as well, I don't think that this person is necessarily toxic. What I do think that being with them at this moment may feel draining for you, may feel draining for both of you. It's very tiring to try to connect with this other person. And I think that is because of the Five of Wands card, because you just have difficulty finding a resolution to your conflicts. You just have this difficulty communicating with each other with diplomacy, with maturity at this point in time. So, with the doll card, now the doll card in this deck is associated with old wounds, with the lack of sovereignty, with childhood trauma. I'm not saying that you or your person might necessarily have childhood trauma, but there might have been an incident or relationship in the past that is affecting the way you communicate with each other now. Perhaps that's why perhaps you don't have trust in each other. Perhaps that might be why you are very argumentative with each other. Perhaps there's a difference in your values that the two of you cannot come to that the two of you cannot resolve, that the two of you cannot come to a compromise. And that might be digging up old wounds for you as well. You might be bringing the disagreements, the hurt that you've had in your previous relationships or in your interactions with other people into this relationship. Not just you, but your person as well. So for example, if you grew up with this is just an example. If you grew up with very overbearing parents or very overbearing siblings and you always had trouble trying to find your say in that relationship, you might overcompromise now in this relationship by being more argumentative, by being overly confrontational. That's why I see with the 5 of Wands here. So this might not be a good time for you and your person, even if they do reach out to you. However, I do see the possibility of a mature union between you and your person in the future. I say that because of the 10 of coins and with the High Priestess as well. The High Priestess is about ascending to a higher state of being in tune with your intuition, gaining wisdom. And I think that if you spend time trying to get to know yourself better, trying to get to know how you should relate to other people, you would have a possibility of a mature, of a healthy, of a happy relationship with this other person as seen in the 10 of coins. Now the 10 of coins is about stability, it's about a family relationship, it's about having a sort of comfortable, peaceful, harmonious relationship with your community, with the world around you, and in this case with you and your person. In this depiction you kind of see like the two people here, they're like an old loving couple, right? So I do see a possibility of having that sort of stable, loving relationship between you and your person. And I do see that they might reach out to you in the future, in the near future, when you've both taken some time off to for some soul searching, for some self-development, and are in a better position to relate to each other. So I think that you should work on yourself first. The future card here as well talks about intellect and knowledge, right? So having a knowledge about the future, having knowledge in the future. So I think that in the future the two of you would have the wisdom and the lessons learned that would help you have a more stable, have a more diplomatic, healthy communication style. And with the 6 of Wands, so the 5 of Wands and 6 of Wands is like a natural progression, right? So with the 5 of Wands, there's conflict, but with the 6 of Wands, you've conquered that conflict and it is victorious. It's due for homecoming. You're having your victory parade. So I do see that as a metaphor for your relationship. I do see you having a successful relationship with this person. So right now you're here at Five of Wands, so there's some conflict here, but in the future, if you take some time to rethink how you want to communicate with this person, I do see that there would be a successful union in the future. However, on a more negative note, the Six of Wands is also about ego, is also about pride, or even about a fall from grace, negative reputation. So what I think it means is that at this point in time, if this person do reach out for you in the short term, if you do attract this person in the short term, in the near future, you might, your ego might get in the way of your relationship, or you might learn things about this person that may or may not be true, that would affect your relationship. So for example, this is just an example. You might learn that this person might not be very faithful, or you might learn something very unsavory about them from someone else, and you might start to quarrel with them, even though on some level you do trust them, you know that it's not true. And on a side note, this might not resonate with all of you. I think that if this person do reach out to you soon, it would be good not to let your ego get into the way of your communication with this person. So with the Virgin card, we have your maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. So purity to me can mean having a open mind, looking at something without prejudice. So I do think that if you want to have a successful, to have a meaningful communication with this person, that both of you, not just you, but that person should also let go of whatever prejudices that you may hold, let go of your ego, let go of what you may or may not hear about this person, let go of any gossip that you might learn about this person, and try to communicate with each other with on a clean slate. And that's all I have for this pile. So in short, I do think that they might contact you in the near future, in the short term. However, you may not have a meaningful communication with this person. You might have conflicts with this person. However, there's a chance that you could work things out, or there's a chance that you might attract them further into the future. So this is all about what you attract or what you want in your life. So if you have patience and if you attract them somewhere down the road, I do think that both of you would be in a better state to communicate with each other. So that's all I have for group number 2. I hope this resonates with you, and I hope to see you again. If you like this reading, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you. Hi group 3. So if you chose group 3, here are your cards. Let's start with the tarot cards we have here. The Page of Coins, the Seven of Cups, the Nine of Swords, the Magician, Emily Dickinson, the Soul, Teacup. We have your child wounded. Let's look at the attributes. For the light attributes, we have awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path of forgiveness. And for the shadow attributes, we have blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness. We have here the Advocate card, inspires you to put compassion into action and embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. And here we have waning crescent 1 protection. Okay, so for pile number 3, I do think that you would hear from this person. How I say that because of the page of coins. So the pages in tarot are messengers, right? So I was just telling the other group as well. Pages in tarot represent messengers. So I think that you would be hearing from this person. However, the coins in tarot, suit of pentacles in tarot are the slowest suit amongst the 4 suits. So with the page of coins, I do think that if you hear from this person, it might not be very soon. It might take some time. And let's look at the Magician card. So I'm using the Tarot of the Divine here. Each card is represented by a fairy tale or folklore from across the world. And the Magician card here depicts the fairy godmother from Cinderella. So this kind of, the story of Cinderella kind of mimics the situation you're in, right? You're waiting to hear from this person. You don't know whether you'll hear from them a lot or not. Sorry, just like Cinderella, she doesn't know whether she will meet her Prince Charming again. So with the Magician card and the context, the picture that is depicted on this particular Magician card, I do think that you would be hearing from this person. You would be seeing this person again. This person would be in your life again. However, you must wait for divine timing. You must wait for the right timing for it to happen. It cannot be rushed. I think that, because of the fairy godmother depicted on this card, I think that perhaps some coincidences or specific circumstances would lead to this person contacting you again. So just to give you an example, perhaps you might bump into them on the street. Perhaps they might see something that really reminds them of you, and they're like, hey, I know you. It could be something like, hey, I know you like this band. I heard that they are coming to this city. I think that you might want to know. Or, I heard that you like this writer, and I think they are... I have a friend who knows them. Would you like to meet them? That sort of thing. So it might... the circumstances in which that will lead to this person contacting you might be reliant on coincidences or external influences in their surrounding. So this isn't a union that could be rushed. I think that is because, with the child wounded card and even a teacup and the protection card here, I think that this person is like a wounded child. Basically, they need to feel safe with you. They need to be sure in order to reach out to you. With the protection card and even, the soul card here, I think that they might be undergoing a period of personal transformation. They might need some time off now. They might need some alone time now, and this isn't really the time for them to reach out to you. With the child wounded card especially, I think that they are trying to come to terms, and they are trying to heal some wounds or some trauma that happened to them in the past. So, and with the teacup, I do sense that this might be a very delicate, a very fragile individual almost. This is someone who is easily hurt and is prone to anxiety with the Nine of Swords. Is prone to overthinking. Is somebody who thinks too much and might not act on it swiftly. And with the teacup card here, the teacup card in this deck also relates to, having a moment of peace, having an ease of mind. So I do think that they need to be in that state of mind. They need to feel at ease. They need to release that anxiety, release that angst that they have before they can reach out to you. However, with the Soul card and the teacup card, I do sense that the interaction you would have this person would be very deep and thoughtful. So this isn't the kind of like flirtatious, fun relationship or communication that's filled with sweet talk. This is someone, if they choose to communicate with you, this is someone who wants to communicate with you on a soul level. This isn't someone who's into games or small talk. With the Emily Dickinson card in particular, I think that they might reach out to you via text or via email, or if both of you are into the lost art of letter writing, of letter correspondence, they might contact you via letters as well. So I do think that it might be sometime before you are able to meet this person face to face. It also makes sense considering the time of this upload. This is uploaded during a pandemic. Of course, this is a timeless reading, so the set of circumstances regarding the pandemic might not be as important to you by the time you are might not be as significant to you by the time you are watching this video. And the teacup card. Now the teacup kind of gives me the image of two people having a long talk over tea, having a warm, comforting cup of tea and talking about anything in the world, talking about the day, talking about their aspirations. So I do think that you would have a very comfortable communication with this person in the future. Now, this does not necessarily mean that there's possibility of a romantic relationship, but I do think that this person would be in your life in the future, would come back into your life in the future, whether as a friend or as a romantic partner. With the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Swords, I do also think that you or your person are very prone to overthinking. The Nine of Swords is basically a card of overthinking, right? You are mulling over all the negative possibilities that could happen, and as a result, the worst might just happen because it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. In fact, I think this card depicts a self-fulfilling prophecy. I think it's about the story of Oedipus. So I do think that you or your person might be like a wounded child. Now you are having a lot of anxiety. What if I reach out to this person and they reject me? Or what if I reach out to this person and this person is wrong for me? Or whatever anxieties you might be facing. I think this card is to let you know that it's all in your head. And with the Seven of Cups, I feel like you or your person might be expecting a little bit too much out of this relationship. Like you or your person might not reach out because you feel like if this isn't your soulmate, if this isn't the one, then you shouldn't reach out. However, the thing about thing about this union is that it's not set in stone yet, the sort of relationship that you would have this person, but the cards are saying that there's no harm in just trying to get to know each other. You cannot know for certainty whether or not the person would hurt you in the future, or whether or not they are right for you, or whether or not they are the one for you. With the Seven of Cups, I also get the sense that you or your person especially, are perhaps thinking that, oh, there might be someone, what if there's someone out there who's better for me? What if I reach out to this person and I regret it? What if this person falls short of my expectations? So they are expecting a lot, but their expectations might be a little bit unrealistic. So I sense that this might not resonate with all of you, of course, but I sense that this person might be someone who, the kind of person who has a checklist of who they want to look for in an ideal partner, and they are striving to look for that partner who ticks off all the boxes on their checklist, who's perfect in every way, and as a result they might find that they have a hard time reaching out to other people because they find that these people fall short of their expectation. So this is something that they struggle with. So this might be a reason that is putting them off from reaching out to you. Of course, I'm not saying that you're not good enough for them. That what I'm saying is that they don't really have a realistic grasp of the people around them, of how people are really like. They have all these fantasies in their head, and their reality, what people are like, falls short of their expectations. This could again be because of the hurt they've experienced in the past. Perhaps they see people in a very black and white view. You're either the perfect person or you are not, without realizing that people are complex creatures. Everyone has their good points and their bad points. So this is something that they have to come to terms with. And I think that the only thing you could do in this situation can be seen in the Advocate card. So I think that in your interactions with them, if you choose to reach out to them first, you should try to get to know them on a deeper level. So the Advocate card, the negative attributes are about someone who doesn't really care for what they are advocating for, whose words hold no sincerity, whose actions hold no sincerity, and it's self-serving. So I think that in your interactions with this person, you should let go of just let go of how much you want to be with them. Let go of your own emotions for a moment. I'm not saying you should disregard your own needs, but perhaps try to let go of expectations of having a romantic union with this person, and just kind of go into that communication, go into that interaction with the purpose of just, knowing what's up with their life, knowing what they're into, trying to get to know the anxieties and fears, trying to understand them, trying to tell them more about yourself, because communication is a two-way street, right? So this isn't someone you should put up fronts, this isn't someone you should sweet talk to, but this is someone whom you should have a very sincere relationship, very meaningful communication with. And this is all I have for group 3. I hope to see you again. I hope this resonates with you. And if you like this reading, please consider liking and subscribing. Goodbye. Hi group 4. So if you chose group 4, here are your cards. Let's start with the tarot cards. We have here the 4 of Coins, the Queen of Swords, the World, the 4 of Cups, Angela Carter, Identity, the Moon, rather just Moon. We have here the Messiah card, serving humanity with humility and exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. We have here the Rescuer card, provides strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward, and assumes that the rescued will reciprocate, keeps the rescued one needy. So I don't curate the cards, I don't pick out the cards, I just shuffle them until one or two cards fall out. And these two cards didn't fall out together, but I think it's very interesting that they fell out after each other. They're kind of similar. And next we have here Waxing Gibbous for Will. And here, Green Corn Moon Patience. Okay, so the Patience card fell out first. I was planning to only draw one card from this deck. The other piles only have one card for this deck, but then the Will card just really wanted to fall out to get after the Patience card. So there we have two cards here. Sorry. So let's start with why I think this person has not contacted you or is not contacting you. I do see a few possibilities with the cards presented here. So these possibilities may or may not resonate with you, so please bear with me here. Because this is a general reading, but let's start with the Four of Coins. I think one of the reasons, or one of the possible reasons as to why this person is not contacting you could be that they see you as someone who is very closed off, very uptight, very conservative. Of course, this might not be who you really are. It's just how this person thinks of you, how they see you. It could be because you have not really opened up to this person and they don't know what the real you is like. So because of how closed off you feel to them, they might find you kind of unapproachable. Or again, because the Four of Coins is about someone very conservative, maybe they feel like you're not a good match for them. I don't think that you are necessarily someone who's conservative, but this could be their impression of you because they have not gotten to know you yet. Now, I say that this could be the impression of you partly because of the identity card here, the Angela Carter card. Now, Angela Carter's writings deal with the performance of femininity, of trying to put on this facade of being attractive to someone else. So it's possible that you might be so concerned, so obsessed with trying to be attractive to this other person, to carry yourself in an attractive manner, that they kind of cannot grasp who you really are as a person. They get the sense that you might be putting on a front, and it might feel like to them that you are trying to hide something. So this could be why they are not reaching out to you. So of course this is a general reading. This is just one interpretation of the cards here. It might not resonate with you. Like I said, I do have a few interpretations of why this person is not reaching out to you, or why they feel like the two of you might not be a good match. Another possibility I see could be derived from the World card. So this is quite straightforward. I think that perhaps they, at this current moment, are not looking for anyone to be romantically involved with. So the World card is about completion, right? Perhaps right now they are with someone else who make them feel whole, who make them feel like they don't have to look anymore. Or perhaps they're just not at a stage in their life where they are looking for more, where they are looking for a romantic relationship. Perhaps this is a time for them to focus on themselves, on focus on trying to make them make the on working on themselves basically. So with the rescuer and the messiah card, this person could feel like they are someone who always needs to be rescued, who always needs to have someone for them, someone there for them, and they are taking time to work on themselves. Again, with another possibility, I think the Four of Cups could also give us a sense of why they are not contacting you or why they might not be right for you. So the Four of Cups is about a sense of boredom. It could also be about contemplation. So perhaps they are contemplating, they are taking some time to contemplate what they need in their life right now, what kind of person they need right now. Or they might just not find the kind of spark they are looking for in their communications with you. This could be because you are rather closed off, or if you are not, I think they just feel that you are not really a good match for them. Now this particular Four of Cups comes with a very interesting description, so let me show you what's written in the guidebook here. So the Four of Cups represents romanticizing bad choices while ignoring the good alternatives before you. It is coveting what is superficially better, neglecting a plain nightingale who can actually sing away death. So this card, in the conventional Rider-Waite depiction, you see see a man staring at 3 cups and not realizing that there's a hand materializing out of thin air, almost like a magical hand presenting a new cup for them. It shows that they have an opportunity that they are not willing to try out. So perhaps this person is the reason they are not reaching out to you is because they are sort of romanticizing the choices that they cannot have. They are romanticizing someone else, that they do not realize that you could be good for them. They do not realize that you are a choice for them. You are someone for them, basically. I'm not saying that you are not good enough for them in any way. All I'm saying that they might be someone who has unrealistic expectations of their partner, of their romantic partners, and as a result they might feel that you fall short of their expectations even though you are perfectly great in your own right. So with the Queen of Swords, I do again see 2 possibilities with this card. So this is the only group in this reading where I kind of see like many different possibilities instead of a very straightforward, very clear reading. So with the Queen of Swords, I do also think that they might feel like you are a little complicated for them. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way. So to use a very basic Sex and the City example, how Carrie thinks that Mr. Big is not ready to be with her because she's complicated and he just wants someone simpler to be with. So this is similar to the situation here. Perhaps they are looking for something a little bit more fun, but you're a queen, you are complicated, you are strong-willed, and this might not be someone that they are looking for. The Queen of Swords is someone who has experienced hurt in the past as well, is someone who has come a long way to come into her own being. So, and is someone who's in general very serious. So perhaps this is not what they are looking for in a relationship. Perhaps they just want to have fun now. So again, with the Four of Cups, this might be someone who's romanticizing bad choices. So not even bad choices, but this is someone who's romanticizing more exciting choices. So perhaps it's because they are not looking for something serious, but you are looking for a serious committed relationship, and this is not aligned with what they are looking for. With the World card as well, the World card is a major completion, right? So perhaps you are looking for that person who completes you, but it just might not be that person that you're thinking of. So with the Rescuer card, the Messiah card, and the Moon card here, I think that perhaps your person might feel that you're not really healthy for them, or that person might not see what they are looking for in you. So for example, the Rescuer card and the Messiah card gives me the sense that this is someone who, have I mentioned this? Like, this is someone who always needs someone to rescue them, and they might not see that in you because you are so independent with the Queen of Swords. They might not feel like you are someone who can always be there for them. So I feel like they might need someone with a more watery, a more malleable energy rather than someone who's so strong and who's so individualistic. Another way of seeing this could be that this is someone who needs to have their ego fed. So with the Rescuer card and the Messiah card and even the Moon card, like, this is someone who needs to feel needed. And because I think that you might seem kind of closed off to them, and also because you might be a very independent, very strong person, someone who craves emotional connection, but isn't someone who's needy, basically, isn't someone who needs someone to pamper them, to take care of them, because you are so strong-willed, you are so in charge of your own feelings. And this person, the person you're thinking of, might be someone who needs to feel needed. They have to be like the Rescuer or Messiah in order to feel fulfilled in a relationship. So this might be why you're not really good for each other, or this might be why they think that you might not be compatible with them, which is why they are not reaching out to you. The Moon card as well. So besides having besides the many meanings that the Moon card has, like the romantic implications of the Moon card, or the uncertainties that the Moon represents. The Moon is also, it's a satellite. It revolves around the Earth. It circles the Earth. It's almost like the Moon is serving someone else. So in the context of this reading, I think it could mean that this is someone who needs their Moon, basically, who needs their partner to revolve around them, who needs their partner to be completely devoted in them, to the point where they might lose their identity. So how some people kind of lose their own identities, and relationships start to speak like the other person, start to like the things that the other person likes, and lose sight of who they are. So this might be someone who needs that kind of all-consuming relationship. Or it could be, the opposite. I'm not saying that this is who you are, but I think that they might see you as someone who always needs rescuing, someone who doesn't have a mind of their own, someone who's a satellite. And what they're looking for is someone like the Queen of Swords, for instance. although I think it's more likely that they are the kind of person who needs to be rescued or needs to be the rescuer or the messiah. So again, connecting with the Four of Cups, they kind of have an unrealistic expectation of what to look for in a relationship. They are not looking for the right things in a relationship, or rather they are not looking for things in a relationship that resonate with what you are looking for, with who you are as a person, which is why they are not reaching out to you. So on the question of whether or not they will reach out to you, I'm going to say most likely no. However, we also have the Patience card and the Will card here. So like I said, I drew the Patience card first, and the Will card just really wanted to fall out after I drew the Patience card. So I think that perhaps in the future, like far into the future, if you have patience, perhaps after you've dated other people, after they have dated other people, they might, come to the realization that that you are what they are looking for in a relationship, and there might be a chance of a union far in the future. However, this is not set in stone. I think what it's saying that if you have a strong will, then what you want will come to you. I also think that this might not be talking about that person that you're thinking of. I think it could just be telling you that you should have patience, and with a strong will you could meet a person who serves your needs better. You could meet a person who completes you, and it might not be this person that you're thinking of. However, with the Moon card, with the Moon is also about uncertainties, it's also about romantic feelings. I do think that even though they feel like you're not right for them, there might be some lingering feelings between you and them. So like I said, the future is uncertain. There might be a possibility of a union, but I think that at this point it's not very likely that it would happen, and even if it does happen, it might not be a relationship that is compatible. So looking at the negative meaning of the World card, it's basically talking about incompatibility. It's talking about disappointment, a lack of completion, and so on. So one last note, this might not resonate with all of you. I think if you are the kind of person who always needs to be rescued, who always needs someone else to complete you, the cards are saying that you should you should connect with your own identity more, and you should have a stronger will to resist this person, because this person might not be right for you. You don't need someone else to complete you. So you might be like the person in the Four of Cups here, romanticizing bad choices when there's something better for you. Not necessarily a new romantic relationship, but a chance for you to be the Queen of Swords, to come into your own being, to be a strong person. So this is all I have for this group. Okay, one last note with the Queen of Swords. This doesn't necessarily mean that you or your person identify as female. This is just an archetype. So the Queen of Swords is someone who's very stern, who holds a lot of wisdom, but at the same time in her heart there's compassion in there. There's also watery energy in there, there's intuition in there. So I think the cards could be telling you to have a stronger will and be like the Queen of Swords, and be more in touch with who you are, be more independent. Of course, again, this might not resonate with all of you. This is a very diverse set of cards. I see many interpretations from this group. So that's all I have for group 4. I hope this resonates with you. If you like this reading, please consider liking and subscribing, and please consider coming back again for more readings. Thank you.